Greetings, carbon-based life forms. I know you can't really see much, but I am currently walking on my way to put the Nerdfighter art that I made for the Project for Awesome in a post office box. I thought that I would just make a little Thoughts from Places video. This is the first time that I have made Nerdfighter art for the Project for Awesome. In fact, this kind of era of my life is the first time I have ever really made art. I grew up not considering myself an artist at all. I didn't really feel like I had any artistic abilities. And now here I am in a year that I am taking off of school, and I find myself with a lot more time than I usually have. And I've just been able to create, and I've really enjoyed it. But I've always just made art for myself. I haven't made it for anyone else. I sometimes share my art, but I never gave it to anyone else. It was always for me. And then I started thinking about the Project for Awesome, and all of a sudden I realized that I am an artist now. In the past, I've always seen emails about the Nerdfighter art perk and thought to myself, oh, well, I can't contribute because I'm not an artist. But I guess in some ways I am now. And this forced me to reckon with a strong force of doubt. Because anytime I complete a piece, I see a lot of flaws in it. You know, even if other people react to it really positively, sometimes all I can see are his flaws. And there's no such thing as perfection. I definitely haven't made a single perfect piece. And the idea of sending someone else this imperfect piece and calling it my art is really scary. And as I've been rushing to get these pieces done by the deadline, which I missed by the way, but it's fine, I've had to force myself to be okay with these mistakes because I don't have time to start over, nor do I really have the energy to start over. And so what I'm about to send off is far from perfect, and that's a really hard reality for me to face, but it is one I have to face. And I really, really hope that the people that get my art are happy with it. But at this point, all I can do is just send it off and know that I did my best. I've also really struggled the past couple days trying to get all of the art done because true to form, I procrastinated. So I've done a lot of it in the past week or so. And I think I made a really critical breakthrough in how I feel about myself in this time. Because at one point I was broken down sobbing on my bed because the art wasn't going the way I wanted it to, and I didn't think I was going to get it done on time. My OCD was just repeating to me over and over that I was a terrible person and all of these negative things. And then I started thinking about the reality of having to email DFTBA and tell them like my pieces aren't going to be in on time. And I was really worried that people would be mad at me because I, hadn't fulfilled this promise that I had made. But then I started thinking to myself, if the person from DFTBA could see me sitting on my bed, sobbing, so upset, would they say, this is worth it? It is worth it for you to feel like this in order to get your art in on time. Is it so important that it's on time that I, as another human being, am okay with this person feeling so crappy? And I put myself in their shoes, and the answer was no. In the grand scheme of things, these people know that not everyone is going to get their art in on time. They have planned in advance for that outcome. There are things they can do on their end to compensate for this. And I know that Hank and John, at least, and I believe that, everyone working for them, they wouldn't want to see anyone feeling and looking the way that I was feeling. It's not worth it. Alright, here we are at the mailbox, and it is time to mail the envelope of art. Alright, it has officially been mailed. So I asked myself all these questions, and I concluded that I had no obligation to feel guilty or to get down on myself because I didn't do something perfectly. And that's not to say it was that easy. I mean, I was still upset with myself, and it was still a really hard email to write. But I wrote the email and I sent it. And it's still hard for me to face the fact that I missed this deadline, but whenever I start getting down on myself, I start to think, John wouldn't want me to feel like this. Hank wouldn't want me to feel like this. The volunteers wouldn't want me to feel like this. So I pick myself back up and I keep going, because the important thing is not that I do things perfectly. The important thing is not that I perfectly hit this deadline. The important thing is that I get it done eventually, and I get it in. And you know what, in the grand scheme of things, that's not even the most important thing. In the grand scheme of things, the most important thing is that I take care of myself, that I make art that I'm proud of, and that I don't try to force myself to do superhuman things. Alright, my hands are super cold, and I want to put them in my pockets, so I'm gonna end the video here. I hope some of these thoughts resonated with some people, and DFTBA.